Hey, y'all. Good afternoon. Happy Friday. So some injury stuff. Cam Fleming is questionable. Justin Simmons is questionable. Baron Browning will be out. KJ will be out. Andrew Beck will be out. And then Darius, Nick Bonito, and Kendall are all questionable with illness.
With Beck out, how hard is it to replace a guy that kind of does so many different things?
It always is. He's done such a good job this whole year, playing fullback, playing tight end, doing a lot of different things, but it's about the next man up, and we got to be ready to go.
Are you worried about the lack of depth at inside linebacker? Do you think Nick can go just because I think the practice squad guy was, or not inside, outside, excuse me. You worried about that at all, concern?
You can't be. We got to put whoever we got to put out there and go out there and compete.
What's the illness? Is that flu or?
It's just an illness.
Is it non-COVID?
Illness.
How about hamstrings? Which have hurt you more than most years, most teams. Have you discussed why you've had a few hamstrings more than normal this year?
We evaluate everything. We've got really good people here, and everybody's doing everything we can to get these guys to be out in practice, in the games, and be able to play at a high level. Those things, they happen. It's part of the game. Some are early in practice, some are middle of practice, and you never know when that's going to happen. And some guys are more susceptible than others. There's so many different things that go into that. It's not just one thing, and we're going to do everything we can to prevent that.
How did Beck's injury happen yesterday with the hamstring?
Same thing, non-contact, just running, and it happened.
Was that a factor in why you went inside today?
No, we just wanted to change it up. Just change it up, get a nice crisp practice.
Are you considering the injured reserve for KJ?
We'll kind of do all that day to day for just anybody like that has a hamstring.
What did you see from the work that Cam Fleming was able to do this week, and what ultimately goes into the decision of whether or not he can give you something?
Yeah, it's a communication with our medical staff and him to find out if he's able to compete out there, if he can go. We don't want to get too much reps for him during the week, but we want to be sure that he's able to test it and do what's right. So we'll continually evaluate that.
What is it about practicing inside that makes it crisper than out here?
Just a little tighter. It's just a change-up.
How do you feel about where Jacob Martin and Chase Edmonds are with the playbook?
Good. Jacob is doing a really good job. He did some good things out there today in practice, and then Chase. I give him a ton of credit. Our system's not very easy. I'm glad that he came from a place that is a lot like ours, so there's a lot of familiarity there. But he's definitely done a good job, and we're going to be able to use him.
Did you learn anything? Did you learn anything from your experience in London on how to win on the road? That in some ways was a neutral site or maybe even partisan crowd.
That's a super road trip.
Yeah, super road trip. Did you learn anything about your team and maybe transfer it to this game?
I thought it's such a different experience because we were there for so long. I thought it was great for our team to get away, to be able to bond, to have tons of meals together and hang out and be in a foreign land. There were so many great things about that, and I love that trip. I've done it a lot of times. But it was just good to see those guys come together. We look at all these games on the road, a lot of them, they've been very close games, and we're a couple plays away, and that in the end, that's what it comes down to. Guys got to make plays. Big-time players make big-time plays in big-time situations. They just got an illness. There's a lot of illness going around everywhere. My kids' schools, everywhere.
Because you liked how things went on the road, is there any thought to maybe staying on the East Coast between Charlotte and Baltimore?
Not right now. No, I've actually never done that, but I will evaluate everything. But I think right now we're good with our kind of how we do it.
You spoke at the beginning of the week about how physical this Titans team will be. Are you able to get a sense from your group here if they're ready for that sort of challenge, or if they're kind of locked into that? What type of game it's going to be?
It's funny. As a coach, you present it. You present all the different things that you want to attack through the game plan. You present the mentality that you're going to be facing each week. And every team is physical. Every team wants to be physical. We want to be physical. The Titans want to be physical. That's what you're always preaching. You never know till game day, but it's made aware that that's what this team really thrives on.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.